morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice of Radio. So today, well, it's time for some full-on, proper job, old-fashioned, reckless speculation. Yeah, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. We have a tease. We have some things that have happened. We don't know much about them, but we should be able to look at it and at least deduce a few juicy facts. And that makes me rather happy indeed. So, and I do need to give a shout out to the lovely Primal Lugia over at PokerGuardian.com for making us aware of this. But there are 3 new trademarks that have gone and been registered or filed by Nintendo, Creatures, and Game Freak. Now, as always, we are only interested, in this regard anyway, in trademarks that have been registered under Class 28, which is games, toys, playthings, the list goes on and on and on. But basically, Class 28 is where Nintendo and Creatures and Game Freak register trademarks for the trading card game. For those that don't know, a trademark is an identifying word, symbol, phrase, etc. that helps to differentiate your product from that of your consumers. So the Pokemon logo would be a trademark. I think Pikachu is probably a registered trademark at this stage. I'd have to double check that one. Definitely copyright, but I think it'll be trademark as well at this stage. But the point is, you register these names so that some other trading card game cannot come around and use them as well. Maybe a book or movie can, because they're different things, they're not protected in the same way, but you're not going to see a trading card game taking the set names. And that's what we think these might be. No guarantee here, but we've played this game before, we've looked at these trademarks before, and they've generally proven to be a pretty good way of doing so. So we've got Eevee Heroes, Blue Sky Stream, and Skyscraping Perfect. Now, Eevee Heroes, I'll be honest with you, that's blatantly an Eevee set. We'll get round to that one in a moment. That one kind of says itself. The one that interests me first is Blue Sky Stream. Now, here I need to give a shout out to the lovely 2new1223 over on Twitter, person who's helped us out a bunch over here. And essentially, there is a couple of Japanese characters there, a word that has been used before in Clash of the Blue Sky. Now, for those of you that are not experts on Japanese set names, and I don't blame you for that incidentally, Clash of the Blue Sky ended up coming over here as EX Deoxys. So again, there's no guarantee here, but it seems like this would be a sensible thing to link in with EX Deoxys. So, what can we say about EX Deoxys? Now, the good news is, I have done a history video about that. We've gotten past there on the history videos. So I've done a lovely half-hour video looking at this set in a huge amount of detail. I'll pop a link to that in the description. Might I suggest that you go and have a good old look. But essentially, this was, well, in English, it was delayed to coincide with the 7th Pokemon movie, Destiny Deoxys. It did actually release on Valentine's Day 2005, which is rather nice, quite frankly. That makes me kind of happy. Lovely Valentine's Day present, whether you found love or not. But the interesting thing about the set is, it was absolutely tripping Deoxys. There were 3 Deoxys and 3 Deoxys EX in the set. It was a very Deoxys heavy set. So does that mean that Deoxys might be coming back? I mean, it's been pretty quiet in the trading card game for a while. We of course had Espeon and Deoxys Tag Team GX that came around in Unified Minds. But the last set Deoxys was the one that came out in Celestial Storm. Although admittedly in Celestial Storm we did have a bunch of them. But we've not seen a huge amount of Deoxys lately. So could it be that we're kind of getting Deoxys coming back? And of course, where there is Deoxys, there should very much also be Rayquaza. Again, if you play Gen 3, that will be pretty obvious. And if we go back to the EX Deoxys set, there were both a Rayquaza and a Rayquaza EX and a Rayquaza Star that were all featured in that particular set. So it seems like that could be a pretty nice prediction for this one. To move over into some of the other trademarks here, I mean, it seems like Skyscraping Perfect, that's got to be Duraludon, hasn't it? That has got to be Gigantamax Duraludon, bearing in mind that Duraludon, Gigantamax, is a literal, actual skyscraper. It seems too obvious not to be, right? And we've had Duraludon V, that came around in Champion's Path, but we haven't actually had Duraludon Gigantamax yet. And Duraludon is one of the more popular Pokemon from Generation 8. It's one that's been around here and there, and it's one of the gym leader Gigantamax Pokemon, etc. So I'm not saying that we are going to get a set that is based around it, but I'm saying certainly having it as one of the feature Pokemon in a particular set, that would make a little bit of sense. In terms of actual skyscrapers that were in the Pokemon lore, as it were, there really isn't very much at all. There is Unity Tower over in Unova in Gen 5, but the thing is, right, Unity Tower, it's not, well, it's where trainers hang out. It's not where Pokemon hang out. So I don't see how they would get a bunch of Pokemon working in Unity Tower. Like, that doesn't make a huge amount of sense to me. I don't understand why Unity Tower would feature particular Pokemon. Shout out to Cerebi.net for the image on the screen here. So, honestly, I don't think that's going to end up being the case here. It does really seem like it's going to be Duraludon. Could be wrong. Absolutely could be wrong. But it does seem like Duraludon's a pretty safe bet here. Now, as for Eevee Heroes, it seems like it's going to be a set that is going to be featuring all of the Eevees. And this sent me on a little bit of a scavenger hunt, because I wanted to know the last time that we got a set featuring all of the Eevees. And we haven't had a set featuring all of the Eevees at this stage for 7.5 years. The last time we got a set featuring all of the Eevees was Plasma Freeze, and that was a Gen 5 set, which means Sylveon wasn't even a thing. To put it another way, we've never actually had one set with all 8 Evolutions in. So, in Plasma Freeze, we did, going chronologically through the set, we got Leafeon, we got Flareon, we got Vaporeon, we got Glaceon, we got Jolteon, we got Espeon, we got Umbreon, and we also got Kecleon and Empoleon for what it's worth. Just in the eons. But we didn't get a Sylveon, because Sylveon didn't exist. We did get all of the Eevees, which is really interesting because we rarely get all of the Eevees. In Vivid Voltage, we got Flareon, Jolteon, and Vaporeon. We got the Gen 1 Eevees, but we didn't get the Gen 3 Eevees or the Gen 2 Eevees. So maybe we're going to be getting a set in the not too distant future that really does do the whole celebrating Eevee thing, where we do get a set which is genuinely just, here are literally all of the Eevees, which would be kind of cool. That seems to be a pretty good suggestion. And I was genuinely a little bit surprised here to find out that it had been so long since we got a proper job all Eevee set. But it really does seem like it's been that long since we got an all Eevee set, whereas we got all the Eevees. And I feel pretty good about these predictions. I do feel like Gigantamax Duraludon has to be the skyscraping perfect set. Blue Sky Stream really does seem like it might be a new Deoxys/Rayquaza set. And let's face it, Rayquaza and Deoxys are pretty popular Pokemon, so it wouldn't exactly be completely out the realm of possibility that that would be a thing here. And then, I mean, Eevee Heroes, I'll be honest with you, right? Eevee Heroes does seem almost too obvious. But like I say, when it's been 7.5 years since we actually got a set with all the Eevees in, maybe it is about gosh darn time, ladies and gentlemen, maybe it is about gosh darn time. However this is, I want to hear from you guys, ladies and gentlemen. I want to hear your predictions. I want to know what you think about these. I want to know which ones you agree with me on, and I want to know which ones you disagree with me on. So let me know in the comment section. Go nuts, be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.